Hi folks, welcome back and happy Halloween week. In my hometown of Staten Island, we have a historical restoration area similar to if you've ever been to Colonial Williamsburg or Sturbridge Village in Massachusetts, where they have historic buildings from all over Staten Island that they've moved into one central location. This weekend, they're doing Halloween in Richmondtown. So we're gonna go out there and check it out. Like I said, I have not been to this event before, so this whole thing is gonna be brand new, and we'll see what happens. So let's get rolling.
We have pumpkin donuts, we have cinnamon donuts, apple cinnamon, pumpkin pie, apple pies.
Oh, I didn't know you guys had pies.
Yeah.
Now you sell that inside too?
We do sell it at all of our stores seasonally. We work with Mark's Bake Shop.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
So these are 20. This one is 20 also. All the door hangers. And then this one's for 30, the one for Christmas.
Okay, so we just got back from Halloween at Richmondtown, and I'm a little disappointed. Well, I'm very disappointed. It just seemed very disorganized to me. They didn't give you a whole lot of information prior to the event on their website. They kind of told you what activities are going to be there, but they didn't tell you how it was going to work. They had trick-or-treating. You can go to each building, and there, was somebody in historic costume outside of the building, and I think you saw it in the video, somebody outside of the building giving out candy and whatnot. And when we got there, they said to us, "Do you have kids with you?" And we said, "No." And they said, "Do you want a punch card?" And we didn't know what it was. I mean, we didn't ask, but we didn't know what it was. She didn't explain anything to us. Well, it turns out that in order to do the trick-or-treating, you needed the punch card. The other thing, which was a major issue for me, was that this area was not handicapped accessible. I know that it's historic buildings. I know that they have, certain regulations that they have to make to keep it historically accurate and whatnot. I totally get that. And I'll be honest with you, since the last time I was there, it has gotten better. The main road that you walk down, the last time I was there, was all gravel and ripped up, and it was impossible to get down there with your wheelchair, or with my wheelchair. Since that time, they've paved, so the road is smooth. They've added curb cuts, which is great, but the buildings are still inaccessible to a certain extent. We wanted to go to the Spooky Story event that they were having, and we asked a woman outside of the building, how do we get in and whatnot, and she said, "Well, we have a portable ramp that we can bring out, and you can get you into the building." So we were like, "Okay, great." So she says, "Give me a couple of minutes, and I'll help you guys out." And then the line formed for the event, and people were starting to go in for the event. And so Katie said, "Let me go in and see if I can find somebody to help us." She went in, and she came back out a few minutes later, and she said, "Okay, well, got good news and bad news. They can get you into the building, but the Storytime event is on the second floor. And it's a historic building, no elevator. It's a long staircase, narrow staircase, because it's an old building." And she said, "So we can get you into the building, you just can't go to the event." So again, I understand not being able to get into the building. I understand it's, historically accurate and whatnot, and they can get us into the building, which is great, but then make it accessible where the event is not on an upper floor. Katie actually went to go talk to somebody in their management, guest services and whatnot, and found a really nice guy. I wish I remembered his name, because I would definitely give him a shout out. And he was wonderful. He came out and actually talked to me, and he had a map of the area, the historic area, and on the map he indicated what was accessible, what wasn't, what they could do to make things accessible. He asked us what we wanted to do, and we told him that we wanted to go to the after party thing with the music and all of that. And he said, "No problem." He said, "I'll set up the ramp right now where you can get to that area." So we did that. And well, we went there. And then things got even worse. We go and we sit down, and we're gonna wait for the band. And this group of people come over, and like I said, it's communal picnic tables. They come over, they sit down at the table that we were at, which is fine. I'm sitting, I had transferred out of my wheelchair, but the wheelchair is at the end of the table. I'm sitting at the table with Katie. They come down and they sit down, and it's a group of guys and girls, well, men and women. They're walking around with little kids, 2 years old, infants, and I could tell that they had already been drinking, which is fine. I have nothing against drinking at all. Then one of the women said, "Okay, everybody put in your money. I'm gonna go get us wine." So they all drop money on the table. She scoops up and goes, okay, I'm going to get as much as I can with this money. And she goes off to the truck and comes back with like glasses and glasses of wine. They got progressively more inebriated. What concerned me was that they were with a bunch of like their children, which I thought was inappropriate. And the other thing Katie and I were thinking afterwards was, if they're getting this drunk, how are they going to get home with their kids? That scared me. But like I said, whatever you want to do, it's your life. Until at one point, one of the guys was talking to one of the other guys there, and they were talking about, I think it was a wedding they had been to, and he made this comment more than once. And what he said was, I was so drunk at this, whatever it was, that I was walking around like I had spina bifida. And as some of you know, based on my last video that I did, I have spina bifida. And so first of all, I was offended. Katie was very offended and very upset by it. And the other thing I was thinking was, yes, making that comment, totally inappropriate. Making it more than once, very inappropriate. Making it very loudly, extremely inappropriate. But also, if you're going to make a comment like that, first of all, don't. Second of all, take a look around you and see who your audience is before you make a comment. I was sitting literally 5 feet from this guy with my wheelchair and didn't even register. So that upset us a lot, and finally Katie and I both looked at each other and said, let's get out of here, because the band wasn't coming on for like another hour, and I was like, I'm not sitting here for another hour listening to this. And when Katie got home, we got home, Katie said to me, should we have said anything? And that's a tough one. Saying something could make the situation worse. It could escalate the situation. And I hate to say this, but I'm disabled. So I really, if things got heated, I could not defend myself very well. Best I could do is, run the guy over with my wheelchair. But that wasn't a concern of mine, because I didn't think that was going to happen. But what I said to Katie was, they were so inebriated at that point that I said to her, you could talk to him until you're blue in the face. You could tell him how upset you are. It was not going to register with him. I'm sorry this ended on a rant. Like I said, it could be a cool event. I would not bypass it. I would not completely disregard the event. I think they need to work on their organization and their communication skills, and let people know exactly what the event is. If you don't have any mobility issues, definitely give it a try, because it did look like fun, and some of the events look like fun. They just were not accessible to me. So anyway, again, thank you for watching. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time with a much better, more fun, more uplifting event. So again, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon, and keep rolling on.